welcome to the Vodacom Durban July Gallops. Camphorotis is going to be coming out first from the Hill team. Gareth Wright, and here is Camphorotis. You'll notice going to the inside of the track between the doles. The doles are set up, so they will gallop from the center to outside. There you can see Camphorotis. There is a bit of a strong wind here. She's going into the wind. It's a tailwind. So you'll see the breeze, quite a strong breeze at this stage, and Camphorotis is just cocking her ears back and forth as that wind blows directly into her face. So we have got Camphorotis and Gareth Wright for the Robbie Hill team from the 1400 on the grass. Just getting a nice warm-up. The extended trot, as they say. Camphorotis. She's just going past the 375 meter mark. So she'll be going past the 400 meter mark shortly, Camphorotis. Then we'll be looking forward to Rainbow Bridge and Driving Miss Daisy, who will gallop together from the 1400. I believe Craig Zaki will be taking Driving Miss Daisy through. And of course, Rainbow Bridge. Warren Kennedy is the big race rider. There you can see Camphorotis, just head twisted sideways. For the Vodacom Durban July 2020. Different circumstances. Racing behind closed doors. But the main thing is that we get the Vodacom Durban July to go ahead. Camphorotis now gets onto the rail and continues to trot. And of course, Camphorotis is a Grade 1 winner under Gareth Wright in Gauteng. The same team, they took that Grade 1 victory in Gauteng. Camphorotis, the Hill team, Gareth Wright. She's of the fairer sex, taking on the boys in the Vodacom Durban July. Going towards the 1200 meter marker now is Camphorotis. She's going to jump from the 1400, so we'll leave you in 10 to 15 seconds piece. Just take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers watching on Teletrack. So all those viewers glued to the screens will be able to see your Vodacom Durban July Fancy have their workout this morning. Traditional Vodacom Durban July Gallops, obviously behind closed doors. So you'll be glued to your monitors to see how your fancies stretch out. And of course, yesterday we had the final field and the draws. So you now know where you stand. The last thing left is to see how they move this morning. And here's Camp Ferratas jumping into her stride. Athletic individual who's won at the highest grade, a grade 1 winner in Gauteng, Gareth Wright for the Robbie Hill team. And there you'll see her head just slightly up in the air, and the wind will be blowing sideways to her at this stage. So for the Vodacom Durban July, Cam Ferratas will jump from gate number 16. Currently 50 to 1 in the betting. And she's got no companion, be taken through her paces on her lonesome as she makes her way round the turn, moving towards the final 650 metres. There you'll see Cam Ferratas keeping to the extreme outside, and now just changed legs. It looked like there for a second, seemed to change legs, and she's now on the bridle, hard against the bridle there, coming towards the top of the lane. And this is where the jockeys will start to get their positions right, look for the gaps to open. And as they say, coming to the 400, this is where everything gets put in motion. Here's Cam Ferratas coming to the last 300 metres. That lovely white blaze, and Gareth Wright, just a slight niggle or two. He says, come on, ladies, let's go, Cam Ferratas, and let's go and show them what we're all about out here at Hollywoodbets Greyville Racecourse. And coming through her Vodacom Durban July Prep Gallop, gets eased up the last 3 to 4 jumps, and that is Cam Ferratas, if you like her, a grade 1 winner, 50 to 1 currently in the betting from the Robbie Hill team and Gareth Wright. Here's a nice side-on shot of Cam Ferratas, and she's looking sprightly this morning. The nice, fresh, crisp air here at Greyville Racecourse, Hollywoodbets Greyville Racecourse, and went down to the gates with the wind blowing into her head, and then comes back with the wind behind her, and just enjoying her morning stretch out. She's been here before. She knows what it's all about. And there's another angle. The lovely shot there of Cam Ferratas coming down to the business end of affairs. And this is where you want your mount to really lengthen that last 50 metres. This is where it counts big time. And that is Cam Ferratas going through her early morning gallop here. We're going to hand you down to Kevin Shea and Warren, and they'll give you a little bit more feedback about Cam Ferratas as we get these wonderful visuals coming through. A lovely look as she makes the transition from the turf onto the poly there, ending her morning workout.
Okay, well, the first gallop's done and dusted. Thanks very much, Sheldon. And yeah, you've got some wonderful bird's eye view there. But Kevin, let's talk about Cam Ferratas for Robbie and Shannon Hill. She's done it nice and easy. She's done what she's had to do. There she is, beautiful footage there of her beautiful actioned horse. Just touch on that head carriage, Kev. She just seemed to be busy with her head.
Yeah, she's a lovely mare, Warren, I must say. And knowing her, she has always had a little bit of a high head carriage. And in a race, she's completely opposite. You see, she always drops out and she comes from a little bit way off them. She's drawn a little bit deep today, on next Saturday. But Cam Ferratas' last run at 55.5 when finishing third, 4.5 lengths behind Bulgarian, which is the favourite for the July. And in the actual July, Bulgarian has got 53 and Cam Ferratas has got 52. So there's only 1 kilo in it, and the last met there was 2.5 kilos. So on paper and on form and how you look at it now, Bulgarian has definitely got Cam Ferratas held, although Bulgarian has drawn a little bit deep, but As you know, many horses have won the July from deep draw. So just on paper, looking at Campharatus, this lovely mare, I've seen her. She has filled out. She has definitely grown into a lovely filly. I think if you remember her, Warren, as a 3 and a 4-year-old, she was a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter, but she has filled into herself. She looks very well under these cold conditions, but a nice gallop, and definitely one Robbie will be hoping can run well. But I can see Rainbow Bridge, I think, on the left, and Eric Sands' other horse, which is Golden Duquette. They look like they'll be galloping together. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the. What do you say?
No,
Yep.
I think
It looks like they're galloping together. Well, it says 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll be galloping separate. I'm not 100% sure. But there is your ruling favourite on the left-hand side. And there is an upcoming horse on your right-hand side, Golden Duquette from the Eric Sands yard. I had a chat to Eric earlier. He's very happy with both his rides. Hasn't declared a jock yet on Golden Duquette yet, but we'll wait for that.
Kevin, I think that is certainly Rainbow Bridge, but the other horse looks like the colours of Heinrich Kuhn. Is that not maybe Driving Miss Daisy, or is that, looking at the visuals that we've got, but be that as it may, it's Rainbow Bridge. Now, as you say, he's a joint ruling well, there's two favourites. When I last checked the betting, 4-1, the pair. But, yeah, judging by the documents that we've got, that's nice for Mr. Rattray to have two runners in the race.
Okay, my apologies. Sorry, Warren.
Driving Miss Daisy, maybe that's the work companion, Kevin, because that, if my eyes are serving me correct, that is Heinrich Kuhn's colours.
100%. Sorry, you're 100% right. That is Driving Miss Daisy. I just see on the form. I just had to flick over. And I didn't see that. I did see now that the companion for Rainbow Bridge is Driving Miss Daisy. Craig Zaki is the jockey on the right-hand side. Not easy to notice the jocks with the masks on. Not easy to notice anybody with masks on, Warren, but the jocks especially, we'll have to go through the colours, and we know Rainbow Bridge, you can see him. He's also a horse that carries a little bit of a high head carriage, a little bit of a softish mouth, but definitely a horse they're all going to have to keep a very, very close eye on, because I think this is the horse they all have to beat.
Well, I'm glad you answered that before that jump away and before we hand up to Sheldon. 60 kilograms, is that a worry for you?
Not really, Warren. He deserves to carry the weight. He's carried the weight before. When I say carry the weight before, it's 60 kilos. He's carried the top weights before, level weights with most of the horses in the big features. The 60 kilos doesn't worry me. He gets in-form Warren Kenny on. He comes from a very, very nice draw, so everything's in his favour. No crowds will be at the races, and this horse does get himself a little bit stirred up with the crowds, and you must expect a big run from him. Right, let's go up to Sheldon. He's going to call the gallop. There is Rainbow Bridge in your picture. Warren Kennedy in the famous Mr. Rattray silks. Keep an eye on this horse. I'm sure he'll be sitting behind Driving Miss Daisy. And keep an eye on him. He is really, really a special horse. Let's go up to Sheldon. He can call them back for the gallop, the second gallop of the Vodacom Durban July Gallops on the 14th of July.
I got those times for Campharatus. The 800 to finish, 79.58. 800 to finish, 79.58. And the 400 to finish for Campharatus, 24.04. 24.04, 400 to finish. That's Campharatus. We've got Driving Miss Daisy and Rainbow Bridge now about to go through their morning exercise. Driving Miss Daisy, I believe Craig Zaki will be taking through her paces from the 1400. That's on the right-hand side, and looks to take a nice easy lead there. And Rainbow Bridge is hard held in behind, and certainly they're not. There you can see Driving Miss Daisy is being driven at, just to ask to be stretching out a bit more and get on with the business at hand. And Rainbow Bridge, you can see on a double hold in behind there. Big race rider Warren Kennedy. And if you look at Rainbow Bridge, he's a superb racehorse, this individual. And all you have to do is look at his impressive CV. 100% place strike rate, a 50% win strike rate. 16 runs, 8 wins, 8 places. Recently won the Gold Challenge, and he's about 3 lengths behind Driving Miss Daisy at this point in time. Of course, he has won the Sunmet, the 5 million rand, beating Do It Again. He ran second last year in the Vodacom Durban July. And let's have a look now, coming towards the 750, and there's Rainbow Bridge. Now, this is no doubt the horse they've all got to beat with the draws coming out. He's pulled draw number 2, currently priced up 4-1 for Eric Sands, and Warren Kennedy will be looking to lift home this individual. Coming around those dolls with about 450 to go, Driving Miss Daisy. She's in front by about 2.5, but you can see Rainbow Bridge is absolutely gliding on the right-hand side. And at the 300-meter marker, Rainbow Bridge is about an eyeball Driving Miss Daisy, and the two come together over the last 200 meters. And you've got to be excited about Rainbow Bridge. Didn't come here to do much today, all to do show his well-being. He's been here before, he knows all about the business, and nothing wrong. Stretching out beautifully past the winning post, and this is the horse they've all got to beat, Rainbow Bridge, for the Eric Sands stable. And of course, Eric Sands will be looking to get Rainbow Bridge, and he's also got Golden Duquette. So these will be for the Rattray. Mike and Norma Rattray, they'll be looking for an absolutely enthralled contest. So the right-hand side, this is the horse we will focus on, the 4-1 individual, Rainbow Bridge, and he's a horse who's won over 6 million rand in stakes, and Warren Kennedy's going to be chomping at the bit, because this is a workout where he didn't give away too much, just yet to show his well-being this morning. And there you can see looms large. He comes up to Driving Miss Daisy, and Driving Miss Daisy a little bit reluctant to jump and go, but once she got into her stride, Rainbow Bridge was just allowed to be towed through, and then comes through his morning workout very easily. And like we mentioned, when the draws came out, the race is probably going to unfold to suit Rainbow Bridge down to the ground. He'll get a perfect spot, maybe get 1 or 2 to lead him. If there's no pace on, go to the front. But whichever way you look at it, the way he won last time out, this is now the horse they have to all set their eyes on. Rainbow Bridge and Driving Miss Daisy, the last 50, a nice slow motion shot. You can see the rider has got this individual on a double handful of fresh eager horse over the last 50 meters. And look at that nice close-up. He actually just looks sideways into the camera. He says, I'm here, and I'm here to win this year's Vodacom Durban July. So that is Rainbow Bridge taken through his paces for the Eric Sands stable. Let's go down to the team.
Yeah, the connections, Kevin, have got to be happy with the way Rainbow Bridge is going about his business, and this race, everything's panning out for Rainbow Bridge and their team. And yeah, as you said, he's no stranger to carrying 60 kilograms. He's matured, Kevin, Rainbow Bridge. I like the fact that he's definitely matured. Warren Kennedy was motionless, and just to steal your words, a proper racehorse.
Yeah, he's a proper racehorse, Warren. What can I, excuse me, what can I say? Eric and Warren must be over the moon, and Mr. Rattray, maybe watching at home, must be over the moon with their runner for this year's July. And well done to the production team. We could see some beautiful head-ons and side-ons of his action. He's got this most amazing action, Rainbow Bridge, and with no crowds at the races to stir him up, I think he's definitely the horse they're going to have to all beat, as Sheldon says. But we're going to keep chatting at the moment until these horses jump away, Sheldon. So we're going to just talk about that gallop. As soon as we see them jump away, we'll go straight up to you now. We have got them on the monitor at the moment. But Warren, I mean, you must be very happy with Rainbow Bridge, looking at him there.
Geez, Kevin, he's coat, he's muscled, and he really looks in a good place, and he moves so beautifully. He's got such a lovely action, this horse. And yeah, and just Eric Sands and Peter Musket, who's looking after the horse, just go about their business in a nice, quiet, professional manner. This horse is, I know it's only the second gallop, but I know that you and I and Sheldon are really waxing lyrical about Rainbow Bridge. And why not? Because he's done everything right in the gallop, and he went out and caught his stable companion, and lots to like. But the third set of gallops are about to jump away. It looks like Chris van Niekerk's colours, so that's going to be Shango and Shenanigans. And yeah, they're about to jump away. Let's go upstairs to Sheldon for the third gallop.
Give you those time for Rainbow Bridge, the 800 to finish, 50.02, 50.02, and the 400 to finish, 23.09. So Rainbow Bridge, a very comfortable 400 to finish, 23.09. Note to just come through that Pedro Pio will now gallop on the grass. He was going to gallop on the poly. It's just come through that Pedro Pio will now be galloping on the grass. And Atandima and Gutwa will ride Pedro Pio. That's the news coming through. And that is Shango who's now going to jump. Shango. Shenanigans. I believe Callan Murray's picked up the ride on Shenanigans here. And we're going to have a look at number 7, Shango. Currently a 20-to-1 shot. Lyle Hurtson for Sean Terry. So have a look out here. Shenanigans in front. And Shenanigans by 2 lengths. And in the slipstream is Shango, the up-and-coming individual. And of course you can see he's a horse. He'll want the pace on. He's the type of horse who likes to quicken up. And he's got that half-decent draw. He's drawn at gate 7, so they'll be able to place him. The speed's genuine. You'll see Shango coming towards the 700-meter marker. Shenanigans is on the right-hand side. And now you're going to see Shango is going to move up and move right alongside as they turn for home. And as they come to the last 450, I can confirm it's Shango on the left-hand side. I think it's Shenanigans on the right. That's what we got here. But we'll have a look at Shango now being asked to run. There you'll see Lyle Hurtson and Shango on the left for Chris van Niekerk. And, of course, Pomodoro Heavy Metal, 2012 and 13. Shango's now asked to stretch. Gets to his stable companion. And over the last 100 meters, Shango gets the neck in front. And he's the type of horse who just does what he has to. So there's Shango going through his morning blowout this morning for the Vodacom Durban July. Currently 20-to-1 from the powerful Sean Terry stable. Chris van Niekerk, and he had his preparation from the 1400 with a companion. There you can see Shango, just a little bit lazy coming to the 400-meter marker and just gets a little bit of encouragement. But he's always been that sort of horse who's just laid back, and when asked to run, he can certainly quicken up. And the better the tempo, the better it is for Shango. So he's that type of horse where you've just got to read into the pace of the race, and then we'll see the best of him. Obviously, if they crawl, he'll be asked questions that last 300 meters, find the gaps at the right time. But yeah, you can see Shango, just a few niggles and asked to stretch out, get towards the winning post. He gets alongside his stable companion, and as they come down to the winning post, there you'll see Shango, draw number 7, and there's a nice shot, a top shot with 150 to go, and he actually got a little bit of a flick down the neck there. You notice the rider just gives him a flick, just a little bit of encouragement, just to make sure that he just does that fine a little bit and gets that little bit extra. But you can see he's holding quite a lot in reserve there, Shango. He's not strutting at all on the grass today. He's not strutting his stuff. He's just keeping it for Vodacom Durban July race day. And here's Shango. And as they come down to the winning post, he'll have his eyes on the prize come big race day. Miyabi Gold is now out on the track.
Okay, so that was Kevin, Shango and Shenanigans. Shango in the colours of Chris van Niekerk, and interesting gallop. Just to touch on for those that might not know Kevin, and we must just be mindful of the fact that there is another horse about to jump. Interesting gallop, one horse to lead the other into the straight. You've ridden many gallops. tell us a bit more about that?
Well, it's it's like a mirror image of a race. So you're trying to sit behind a horse, and you find horses that are sitting behind are always a lot more settled in a gallop. But these are July gallops, but these horses they aren't galloping. They're just doing as much as they possibly can do. Because if they aren't fit and they aren't ready this time of the year, they're not going to be fit and ready next week on Saturday. So that's definitely a thing. Shango, I think, has got a lot to do. One of the 3-year-olds. Raced with Got the Green Light on many occasions. You can see Shango has raced, and Got the Green Light has, at level weights all the time, had the better of Shango. So on form, as we're looking at it, on form, Got the Green Light definitely has got the edge on Shango, just looking at form. So that's all I can give you at the moment for Shango. Looked well, galloped well. Keep an eye on Shanigans, the stable companion, I'm sure running on the day. Looked very, very well. Galloped very well. So have a look what race Shanigans running in, and there's a horse I think you can follow.
Absolutely, and now we're going to concentrate on Miyabi Gold, I think it is, the colours of Nick Johnson. And I see Do It Again's also exited the parade ring as well. So Miyabi Gold's about to jump away. Sheldon will have some times of the previous gallop, and he'll take us through this one. They're coming thick and fast now.
Giving you the times for Shango, 800 to finish, 50.14, 50.14, and the 400 to finish, we've got 23.27, 23.27, 400 to finish for Shango. Miyabi Gold is currently on the track. Number 4, draw 4, Miyabi Gold. I believe Keegan de Mello will be taking her through her paces this morning. Now last year we saw Miyabi Gold. She raced for the Hamiltons and the Johnsons, didn't disgrace herself, a daughter of Silvano out of the Western Winterwear, Mkushi Gold. And now you can see Miyabi Gold. Majority are working lonesome, so they'll all be just taken through their paces, cool, calm and collected. This is just their final show. Then it's all systems go. Miyabi Gold from the powerful Justin Snaith team. He's got a host of runners in this year's Vodacom Durban July, and there you can see Miyabi Gold. She had a very promising introduction, a reintroduction to KZN. She came sweeping through for the victory, stretching out beautifully this morning as she takes the corner and heads to the 400, which she knows very, very well. We've seen Miyabi Gold slice through them, and a horse that's really got a good turn of foot. She's taking on the boys, but also one of those horses who's achieved and competed at the highest levels. Here's Miyabi Gold now. You can see on a hard hold there, being kept together the last 200 meters. And just having a look at her, she looks impeccable this morning. Can't fault them, and that should be the case. Each and every runner that comes to the course here this morning, they are ready for their final workout, and come big race day. Miyabi Gold draw 4, a 25-1 shot. Of course, Dancer's Daughter, Legislate, Do It Again, Do It Again. That is exactly what Justin Snaith has done in the past, so he knows exactly what it takes to win the Vodacom Durban July. This is a look at Miyabi Gold over the last 100 meters or so. You can see on a very tight rein there, just taking it in her stride and enjoying her morning exercise, stretching her legs. And the Greyville circuit, Hollywoodbets Greyville race course, it's upon her. Yeah, we can see the head-to-side shot of Miyabi Gold as she comes down inside the last 150 meters, and Miyabi Gold not been asked to do any more than she has to this morning, and this will just be to have a nice warm-up, stretch the legs, and have a final look at the Greyville circuit before the big race day, the Vodacom Durban July. And this is Miyabi Gold, currently 25-1. Next gallop in progress. Now we'll take it that that's Bunker Hunt in the second spot there. Bunker Hunt will be led by the stable companion. So the Justin Snaith team sending out Bunker Hunt, Grant van Niekerk, and Swift Surprise. So Swift Surprise, no surprise to see the stable companions lead their Vodacom Durban July fancies just in behind them to give them a nice lead through and just for them to settle in and enjoy their workout this morning. And look at this. This is a horse last season. Things went wrong for him, Bunker Hunt, but he's come right this year. And of course, he won the drill hall. He's 10-1 currently, Bunker Hunt. He's a son of Dynasty who himself won the Vodacom Durban July. And Grant van Niekerk, big race rider. Turning for the 400-meter marker, you'll see Swift Surprise on the left, but look right. This is the horse you've got to keep your eyes on, Bunker Hunt. He turned it on in an absolute smashing fashion last time. He slipped up the inside and he just glided away. You'll see his head slightly twisted as they come down to the winning post there. And Bunker Hunt over the last 50 meters. Let's just have a look through the binoculars. That could be his tongue over the bit there. I think that's his tongue over the bit. So just playing with his tongue there, Bunker Hunt, if I am correct. I don't think it's a tongue tie. So there you'll see Bunker Hunt, hard held, coming down to the winning post. And just having a look at him, just seemed to be playing with his tongue between the three. There you go. There you can see the nice visuals there. Tongue over the bit, under the bit. Whichever way you have it, his tongue is out there, Bunker Hunt. And coming to the winning post, there's Bunker Hunt. In action, tongue flapping out. But when he gets past the post, he puts his tongue back in the mouth. Do it again. Another one from the Justin Snaith stable. And here's a horse like Rainbow Bridge with a CV second to none. He's looking to rewrite the history books. Do it again. He's gone back to back. Do it again from the powerful Justin Snaith stable, Anton Marcus. Now, Anton Marcus rode Dancing Jewel in 93, El Picha, the last horse to go back-to-back in 2000, 2005, Dunford, 2007, Hunting Tower, 2018, Do It Again. So Anton Marcus, 5 wins, gives Do It Again a flick down the left-hand side, 400 to go. He says, now let's stretch out. And there you can see those legs pumping like pistons. Absolutely workmanlike. He has Do It Again. He's been asked to stretch this morning and he's coming to the last 100 meters and Do It Again. Over 8.4 million rand in stakes and the rider giving him the full Monty this morning. He works him right down to the winning post. He's defending his crown again. He's done it before. He's done it twice. Let's see if he can go for a record-breaking hat-trick in the Vodacom Durban July. Big race rider Anton Marcus. Unfortunately, draw 18, but we'll leave it up to the master, Anton Marcus. We've seen horses win from wide draws in the past, so luck in the running, depending on the pace. But what you see here this morning is exactly what you expected from the Justin Snaith camp. Professional as can be, and Do It Again. His name says it all, coming down to the winning post. Well, as they say, they're coming thick and fast, and this is Pedro Pio. So we will try and get back to you with the times. But this is Pedro Pio. He has been switched from the poly to the turf. No companion. And I believe Atandiwe Mgutwa will be taking Pedro Pio through his paces this morning. Lovely looking individual, Pedro Pio. A younger brigade from the Dennis Bosch stable, who's trained many a good horse in his career and also sat on top horses in his career. And here's Pedro Pio. Swinging for home with about 500 meters left to gallop. The big white sheepskin noseband. The Ferreira silks, the red and green, and 300 meters left to go. Just gets a niggle or two, Pedro Pio. He ran second in the Daily News 2000. He's a 25-1 shot. And the last 50 meters, he has a nice look at Pedro Pio. pricks his ears as he comes to the winning post. He's done all that's been asked of him this morning. And this is a horse who's on the up. We still haven't seen the best of Pedro Pio, a horse Dennis Bosch holds in very high regard. And he's one of those horses they've just taken their time with. He went to the Cape. Things didn't work out with him. But since he's come back to KZN, his hometown territory, he's a different animal. Here's the last 50 meters of Pedro Pio. I believe Atandiwe Mgutwa took him through his paces this morning. And here's Pedro Pio. If you fancy him, 25-1. The last 200 meters, sticks to the outside. And the rider just gives him a slight little niggle and a flick just to keep him interested and keep him going down to the winning post. That is Pedro Pio, number 3, draw 3 on big race day. Golden Duquette, number 1, that has the white cap from the Eric Sands stable. So Golden Duquette, he won the Cape Derby, 3rd in the Daily News 2000. Striking chestnut individual with striking white markings all round. So Golden Duquette being taken through his paces. We're just getting a couple of changes as we go through, so we'll keep you informed. Golden Duquette won the Cape Derby, 3rd in the Daily News, and this is for the rat race. So they got another one to their bow, 2 strings to the bow, of course, Rainbow Bridge, Golden Duquette. He's an impressive looker, and coming to the 300-meter marker, he's now asked to stretch. 300 to go, he gets a flick or 2 and a niggle, and he's now starting to deliver that stride. He's a lovely-looking specimen. 150 to go, he just goes in for 1 stride, and coming down to the last 50 meters, Golden Duquette. Here he is, presented at Hollywoodbets Greyville for his morning workout. His name is Golden Duquette. He's from the Eric Sands stable, Mike and Norma Rattray. He worked from the 1400 meter, ran 3rd in the Daily News. He won the Cape Derby, and he's a horse on Vodacom Durban July Day. He's going to glisten in the sun. His coat's looking good. Everything seems to be in peak order for Golden Duquette. Another one of the younger brigade. And he's pulled pole position, draw 1 for Golden Duquette. And you'll see the last 300 meters, the rider just got 1 or 2 little niggles in just to seal the deal and make sure he goes right through with the effort. And of course, we'll be racing behind closed doors, so you don't want him to lose any concentration. And the rider just kept him up to the task at hand. And those last couple of jumps gets to the winning post. And he says, this is where you get to see Rainbow Bridge. And maybe we can put our noses down together. And once again, look to make some history here. Rainbow Bridge and Golden Duquette. Golden Duquette sport the white cap. And Rainbow Bridge.
Some wonderful gallops we've been treated to, Kevin, thus far. We've got to go back a bit just to try and get your feedback. Miyabi Gold for Nick Johnson a couple of gallops ago. Looked good?
Yeah, it looked well. I think Justin Snaith definitely got a stronger hand than Miyabi Gold. So, if you had a choice between just the 2, Bunker Hunt or Miyabi Gold, I would lean towards Bunker Hunt, but they've still got Do It Again, and they've still got Bulgarian. They've still got horses that are better. But for me, I think Miyabi Gold might just be held by 1 or 2 others. Bunker Hunt, I thought, was very impressive. Yes,
very impressive. Smooth as silk, worked well, I thought.
Worked very, very well. Do It Again, the old, when I say the old, the campaigner, not the best worker in town. You see him, he just does what he has to do, but a fantastic action and Can he do it 3 in a row? He's got the service of Anton Marcus, which is a big plus. Absolutely a big plus. Do it again. He comes from a deep draw, but this Anton will just jump out wide and just slowly get him in. He likes to race up there, so he's in no hurry to have to get him in behind or have to get him settled. So he can just get him into a nice galloping position. Pedro Pio.
Unknown in the race, Kevin. They're unknown in the race.
Unknown, absolutely. Dennis Bosch always spoke very highly of this horse. Has it come a little bit too quick for him as a 3-year-old? I think maybe he could be a better 4-year-old. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. The 3-year-olds are really going to have to pick up their legs this year. We'll have to pick up their legs. When you've got horses like Bulgarian, Vardy, Rainbow Bridge, Sukrat, I think the 3-year-olds are going to have to pick up their legs a little bit. That's it. Golden Duquette. Yeah, a lovely horse. Is also another horse. Is it maybe not a year too early for him? He's a lovely animal. He's won the Derby. He's going the right way. Beautiful action next year for me. I think he could find this year just a little bit too close for him.
Some wonderful feedback from Kevin Shea, and we're going to touch on his rides and his victories in the Vodacom Durban July. But some great feedback from Sheldon upstairs, Kevin downstairs, and the Gallops have certainly been impressive thus far. And the dark horse from Kevin and I could be Pedro Pio for the places, no doubt, for a place, Pedro Pio. But this horse, Silvano's Pride, is there with the lead horse. Silvano's Pride is going to jump away any moment now. If my sheet is correct, which I'm sure it is, Serena Mudley is the man that's in the saddle. Silvano's Pride.
Right, let's just give you some times. We've just been given some times through. Let's go with Do It Again. So Do It Again, 800 to finish was 53.24. 53.24. And Do It Again's 400 to finish, 22.11. 22.11. So that is the quickest 400 to finish this morning. Do It Again at this stage. He was asked to stretch, 22.11. Rainbow Bridge was hard held at 23.09, 400 to finish. Next gallop this morning, she is Silvano's Pride. She won the Tibashina Stakes. Serena Mudley taking her through her work this morning. Once again, Justin Snaith, and as they all say, team efforts win races. Silvano's Pride, she's tough as nails. She's a front runner who does not know to throw in the towel. You can do what you like. When she gets away, you got to catch her. Unfortunately, she has got the 15 draw, but with some luck in the running, if she slides across and gets into a decent position, it's going to be quite interesting to see tactics this year. And here's Silvano's Pride moving to the outside rail there, and she's once again just doing exactly what the rider's asking. You see on a double hold, the rider's got her really hard held, and she's coming to the last 200 meters, and she's having her workout this morning. And as the rest of the participants for the Vodacom Durban July, they at 100%, and they just got to keep them ticking over, and this will be just their final blowout, just to show everybody how good they're looking. And I can certainly tell you from the commentary box, each and every runner coming past here is looking absolutely magnificent, as they should be going into the Grade 1 Vodacom Durban July. She's got that nice white face, the nice white marking on her face there. Silvano's Pride, currently 33 to 1. Went from the 1600, no companion, and Serena Mudley. They won the Tibashina Stakes, Silvano's Pride, when she led them a merry dance. And you can see her coming down to the last 50 meters, enjoying the scenery, and just really going through each and every stride, enjoying it. Looked very comfortable throughout. And when it comes big race day, 33 to 1, will that still be around? That is the question that will be asked. Are they going to snap up the 33-1, or is she going to drift out Silvano's Pride? She's a natural front runner. She's been to KwaZulu-Natal before, and she's bounced away. And this season she's come here, and she's once again shown that lethal front-running tactics. And when she quickens up, she shows the tempo, and she quickens off that hot tempo. So she's got a lot of attributes going for her. Silvano's Pride. She's got the 15 draw from the Justin Snaith camp. Right, let's give you Golden Duckett's time. 800 to finish, 49.55. 49.55. And Golden Duckett's 400 to finish, 22.91. 22.91, the 400 to finish for Golden Duckett. Pedro Pio, 800 to finish, 50.39. And the 400 to finish, 23.54. That's Pedro Pio. The 400 to finish, 23.54. Currently on the track is Tristeville. Reserve runner Tristeville from the Tony Riverland camp, given the go-ahead from the 1400. And Shango in the Mary Liley silks, got the blue bandages on this morning, Tristeville. And you'll notice just taking it very casually this morning, Tristeville. Now just angles off the inside, and there you'll see moves towards the center as they have put the dolls up there. So you'll see was on the rail, and then as they move it around about the 1200 meter area into the 1000 meter zone, they move off the inside, they move to the center outside of the track. And Tristeville always been held in very high regard by Tony Riverland. He's a horse who has been very successful, and he's achieved quite a bit in his career. From day one, the stable said this is the type of horse who could bring Mary Liley right back into the limelight. And let's see if it's written in the stars, because he is a reserve runner, and we've still got that time to build up towards the big Vodacom Durban July. And 400 to go. Tristeville just gets a niggle or two from Shango as they come to the last 300 meters just to get him into full action. And you can see coordinated there, his legs coordinated, throwing those front legs out. And he's got hind quarters, he's got the muscle, he's got everything that takes. And here's Tristeville coming to the winning post and just gets geared down those last couple of jumps. Another one of those individuals who's just improved. And another one of those horses we'll keep a close eye. And each and every hour of the day, the stable, the connections, they'll be waiting for the phone call to see if he will get the run, Tristeville, but at this stage a reserve runner. 75 meters to go, and there you can see the rider puts his hand down on the neck of Tristeville, and Tristeville just gears right down those last 25 strides. He's come here to the Hollywoodbets Greyville circuit this morning. He's got the blue bandages on Tristeville, and Shango has taken him through his paces. Another one with lovely distinguishing markings. You'll notice a number of horses in this year's Vodacom Durban July. They got distinguishing markings, and each and every one of them unique in their own sense. Jumping away, Belgarian. This is a joint favourite. Belgarian at 4-1 with Rainbow Bridge. He's got the 17 draw to contend with, the 1900 metre winner. From the Justin Snaith camp, Richard Fourie, who won in 2014 when Legislate got the race. And Belgarian, there you can see just being kept together. And Richard Fourie, he'll be looking to taste success once again. This has been a plan in motion for a year. The draw hasn't worked out for Belgarian, but we've seen him quicken up to win the 1900 in championship style. And one stage he was the outright favourite. At this stage he's joint at 4-1. You can shop around, see if you can get some 9-2. And Belgarian, when he won his last race, he came sweeping through. He's a horse who's got the action. I mentioned he's the horse with the movie star looks. I called National Currency many years ago, horse with the movie star looks. And last time Belgarian, he just caught the eye. He had all the attributes of a superstar in the making. And let's see if he can live up to his name, Belgarian. There you can see going through his workout this morning, and a lovely action. There you can see putting those legs together, stretching out magnificently. Unfortunately for his followers, he's got draw number 17 to contend with. Richard Fourie, Justin Snaith, they know what it takes to win these big races. And of course, Justin Snaith, he's got a host of runners in this year's Vodacom Durban July. Hasn't pulled the best of the draws, but let's see. When it comes race time, when those gates crash back, the pace, who gets across and where you get placed, things can change in the blink of an eye. Here's Belgarian coming down to the 300, and he's a horse who's progressed steadily. And got to say that victory in the 1900, it was nothing less than breathtaking. When he pitches up on Vodacom Durban July race day, you'll see him sprightly, and when he goes down to the post, he'll make his presence felt, as his supporters will be shouting in the race, "Go Belgarian, go!" There's another shot of Belgarian. Between Rainbow Bridge and Belgarian at this stage of the game, they the two dominating the market. Of course, Rainbow Bridge, when he pulled the 2 draw, he seems to hold the aces. But let's see if Belgarian can pull out the magic. Here's those last 50 metres. Whip in the left hand, just being kept alongside his neck on a tight rein there, and coming down to the post, just pricks his ears. And Belgarian, he's put his nose in front. He's 1 year at the Hollywoodbets Greyville circuit, and come Vodacom Durban July big race day, Belgarian, luck in the running. He's the up and coming individual. He's going to make Rainbow Bridge honest.